Hello, everyone. My name is Ogde Cortez, and today I wanted to talk about something that honestly became a big part of my life, and it's our screen times. So whether it's our phones, our laptops, or gaming devices, screens are everywhere. And even though they keep us connected and informed, they also come with some real downsides, and the most of us don't really think about it until we're already feeling stressed, anxious, or drained. So the title of my speech is Scrolling Less, Living More. And I hope by the end of it, I hope you guys feel inspired, more mindful of how you guys spend times on your screen and how it's affecting your mental health. Okay, let's get started with my introduction. Let me ask you something. Have you guys ever caught yourself doom scrolling late at night, just stuck on your phone, jumping from one video to the next, and suddenly realize that hours has gone by and you haven't even noticed? You're definitely not alone. According to recent data, the average person spends over 7 hours a day in front of a screen that includes phone, laptops, TVs, and tablets. And while that might not seem like a big deal in the moment, these all these hours add up, and over time they seriously affect how we feel mentally and physically. So as a college student, I get it. I spend a lot of time on my phone and my computer too. Whether I'm waiting on an email, checking assignments, answering texts, or just scrolling to take a break. But I've noticed that the more time I spend on my screen, the worse I feel. I get worse sleep and it's harder to focus, and sometimes I feel more anxious. That's why today I wanted to explore this topic a little bit deeper. And I wanted to start by explaining how excessive screen time can affect both our physical and mental health. Then I'll talk about how we're hooked on our devices. And in the first place, oh, sorry about that. And finally, I'll share a few simple ways to cut back so we can actually start feeling better, more focused, and more connected with our lives. So, let's start with the physical side effects. So, you probably felt at least one of these before. The most common issue is eye strain, or what doctors like to call computer vision syndrome. After hours of After hours of staring at a screen, your eyes can feel dry, irritated, or tired. You might get headaches or have trouble focusing, but because screens emit blue light, which can cause physique or fatigue in your eyes, especially when you're looking them or at them for a long period of times. It might be good for you if you just take breaks in between if you're using your device for too long and you know that's bad for you. So there is the posture part of it. Most of us aren't sitting with perfect alignment in our backs, and our phones or laptops or we're slouched on the couch, bent over in the bed, or hunched in the desk. Over time, the poor posture can cause chronic pain in your neck and also your shoulders and your back. So let's not forget about the bigger picture. So sitting for hours every single day without moving much leads to I forgot what it was called. I think it's called a sedentary lifestyle. I think, which includes your risks of weight gain and heart disease. So, and it could also lead to like diabetes. According to a study done in 2023, there's physical symptoms that become more common, especially in younger people who spend large parts of their day online. We don't really think about how much time we spend on our phones, but when you add it all up, it makes a big impact in your life. And it takes away from your actual life and you living the best life you want to live. So let's do the next. Oh. So now let's talk about what screen time does to our mental health, which I think it's even harder. Oh, sorry. Let me go back to the other slide. I was reading. There's a study published by medical or the MDC Medical Center or medicine earlier this year, where researchers asked students to reduce their daily smartphone use for just 2 hours a day. And the results were pretty shocking. Participants reported lower stress and anxiety, better sleep, and even a boost in their overall sense of well-being. And this wasn't just a coincidence. The researchers found that screen time just linked to their mental health issues, it might actually just be causing them, or that might just be what's causing them. That means the most time we spend online is the most likely we feel overwhelmed or unfocused and unhappy. But personally, I've been there. There were times where I was scrolling for hours on TikTok and watching YouTube, and afterwards I felt even worse. I like to say that I start homework around 8, and then 8 becomes 9, and then 9 becomes 10. But before I know it, the night has gone, and then I have to finish my homework around 11 when it's due at 12. So the cycle made me realize that it wasn't just the management, it was how I was coping with the stress. And that's the reality of a lot of students. Screen time isn't just a habit, it's often a way to escape, but instead of making it or making us feel better, it's often the opposite. So, oh, sorry. I didn't- So are why do we keep looking at our screens? Well, there's a couple reasons. First, screen habits at a young age. Kids are being handled with iPads of the early age around like 2 or 3. And by the time they're teenagers, they spend more time or they spend up to 9 hours a day on screens. That means these patterns are forming early and becoming second nature. Second, our apps are designed to keep us hooked. So it could be platforms like TikTok or Instagram, and I am guilty. I use TikTok a lot. I think about like 3 hours a day, and Instagram maybe like 30 minutes a day. And it's called dopamine driven syndrome, or it's called a dopamine syndrome reward loop. Every time you get a look or you get a like or a new post or a funny video, your brain has a little bit dopamine in it, which is kind of like a reward. It makes you want to keep scrolling, keep checking, and keep coming back. And finally, we use our screens as a coping mechanism where we're bored, lonely, anxious, or even sad. We grab our phones. When we grab our phones, it gives us something to do, something to watch, and the noise around us, just because it feels good at the moment, and it honestly doesn't mean it's actually helping. So. And in conclusion, as we wrap this up, I want you guys to remember this. Excessive screen time isn't just a eye or eyesight problem or a back headache. It messes with our actual mental health, our sleep, and our actual mental well-being. So there has been times, or I'm sorry. The good news is it doesn't take it doesn't take a lot to make a difference. Even with like small steps, you can make sure you or even with small steps can help you make a big change. So I would say start by taking track of your screen time, set limits, reduce, maybe like replace 30 minutes of scrolling with a walk, stretch, meal break, restroom break. The more you do this, the more your brain and body will thank you. I promise you. Just imagine the stress, the more focus, better sleep, and the more time doing things that actually make you happy. Like spending time with your friends, being outdoors, or just focusing on your goals. It can be anything you care about. It all starts with one small circle. To scroll a little less and to live a little more. So, I just want to say thank you guys for listening to my speech. And I hope this message inspired you guys to take control of your screen times because I know it can get hard. And personally, I dealt with using my phone a tremendous amount. Um, it started from an early age, and as time went on, I saw how bad it impacted my life personally. And I had to make drastic measures and change my lifestyle. And honestly, it was one of the hardest things. It was like I was doing drugs and I was getting off of them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this speech, and I appreciate you guys for listening to me. I hope you guys enjoy your days. Thank you so much.